Hello YouTube, this is the next toy review, and I'm reviewing the Robot Wars Minibots Arena. And as you can see, I've got the Dropzone added as well. It's going to be very difficult to see because it's such a large object. Let's see if I can tilt it down for you to see. I can't really do it. I'll probably have to put them on separately, but take my word for it. When it comes to the Dropzone, I'll review that kind of on its own, separate. But for the time being, let me get it out of here. Oh. I released the Dropzone. Okay, whatever. No big deal. Now you get a little functionality of how the Dropzone works. Although you probably didn't see much of it. There we go. Get this out of the way. I'll review it separately because it's too much of a hassle to deal with right now. These out of the way as well because they fell out. I don't want to lose them. There we go. Okay. So here's the Minibots Arena without the Dropzone. It's very well laid out. I mean, it's got the flipper. I can function each one for you. Flipper's at the back end there in the background. See, pops up. That's probably accurate. I'd say it's probably one of the most accurate features of the arena. And you got the pit. The pit activates a little differently because of the. I guess I'm not really sure whether they just couldn't figure out how to do it accurately or just had their own idea in mind. Got this little lever here on the right. Pull it towards you, and it drops open like this. Goes back in and close. Pretty straightforward. So it's got all the corner patrol zones. I'm not really sure which series this is. I'd probably say it's Series 4, perhaps, maybe Series 5. I've actually had my own sort of pit release button, if you will, over here. I mean, I couldn't put the tire in. The tire wouldn't stay. There's no way the tire would actually stay up there. You know, it's kind of, you can pretty easily disassemble it if you need to go somewhere. I mean, this little bar here at the top in black goes around, comes off pretty easily. Sometimes a little too easily. I mean, pops out rather easily. I mean, there you go. That's basically how easy it is to come apart. I mean, when you put the Minibots inside it, and luckily, if you get it, you get Chaos 2, the Chaos 2 Minibot as well. So you just get to have some fun with it. Like you have to, go purchase some. It's pretty well laid out. I mean, it's to scale. If you were to put the Minibots in here, they're pretty small in comparison to the arena. Can't flip anybody out of the arena though, so because most of them don't have any weapon functionality here. Yeah, it's surprisingly light, though. I mean, I don't think I'd be able to do this review the way I'm doing it now if I actually had to. Go out and rearrange it. I was kind of thinking that might be the case, though. But as you can see, the back end here is completely. There's no space to attach anything here. That's simply because of the wall, which I'm going to review right now. This side here. Here's the wall. The wall goes on the back. It's got some nice functionality here. You got the doors open and close. All three of them. Oops. Go back the other way. And then it's got some nice sound effects. And unfortunately, this one, they didn't get much out of it. I mean, they got one sound effect in that one. Yeah. That one also has only one. It's kind of disappointing. This one has a lot of better, probably the best ones on the list.
Get ready to do battle again!
That's Jonathan Pierce.
See.
Yep. That one's kind of strange, though, because Jonathan Pierce was not the one to actually, he was always Stuart McDonald, I believe his name. Stuart McDonald, I believe, was his name. It was the one that did it. And Stefan Frank, I think, was the one that did it in the Nickelodeon Robot Wars.
Roboteer, stand by!
There was another line that was actually Stuart McDonald / Stefan Frank.
3,
That's good.
2, 1, activate.
That's especially weird because if they got him to do the first one, why didn't they get him to do the ones he had done in the actual show? It just seems kind of a little off. A little inconsistent as well. And if you may not realize this, yeah, there's actually little bars that go across the top here, and this can actually come apart, so if you really need to take it apart, if you look at the top, this kind of You can see it's sort of like a little jigsaw puzzle. I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, you can see where it attaches. There's also these little pegs here. This is the back side of this, so you'll be able to attach it. There's like an additional attachment that I don't have immediately on me, but doesn't really take it away very much. You're probably just gonna take it apart anyway. So these are all the levers that if you really, really struggling, these are the levers that actually pull up the doors on the back end here. See if I can go on the other side, which is probably a little easier. And also you can also attach there's like a ramp you can attach here. I don't have that with me either. Actually, come to think of it, I do have the attachment that holds this thing that actually holds this thing together. Obviously, I wouldn't really be able to review this very well because it wouldn't stay together. But yeah, the ramp can attach. These are these little attachments for the ramp. I actually have the ramp behind me. My closet there, but I'd say it's pretty well designed as well. I mean, it's got the fans. They don't do anything, obviously, but according to the instructions, you were supposed to put like the little stickers on here, but you may not have noticed, but I actually had a couple on the arena itself to kind of go along more with what the TV show had. I mean, it had a flame pits. I put the flame ones there instead. Seems kind of silly. Because I don't think they were actually attached there on the show. I mean, it's kind of nice. They got little mock roboteers in the corner here. The middle one is where Craig Charles would be. / Dave Azier, if you watch the Nickelodeon Robot Wars. I did. That's probably actually the first version of Robot Wars I actually watched on TV, believe it or not. I don't think I realized the UK one actually existed for a while. So YouTube, it's got a couple of... It's got another couple of Roboteers here in the corner here. That's pretty much it on that. The next little bit is going to tie in directly to the arena itself, because this is the drop zone. Unfortunately, the drop zone really does not fit very well. I mean, it'll attach, but you look for the the red X in the show, it lines up perfectly. You can drop a robot or whatever, and it will get it to stay. The problem is, the toy does not reflect that very well. In fact, it's off. I don't know whether, because I tried maneuvering it. There's only like 2 different ways you can actually attach this thing, so that it will actually secure itself to the toy. It's kind of disappointing. I mean, it's about as, it makes the whole, having the sticker with the red X on it, completely pointless. In case you're wondering how I actually activated the drop zone, it's this red button at the top. Yeah, see? That's pretty much it. Doesn't really do a lot. It's pretty sturdy. Can come apart. Not too easily, but I mean, I guess it's okay if you enjoy it. I mean, when it comes to the arena itself, if you're a kid, you may not care so much that the line, the person saying it isn't the same person on the show. I mean, maybe you would. I think I would. I do. I personally would prefer it, just for the consistency and more accurate to the show. I mean, it would also be nice if they had little music from the show as well. I mean, they could put that in the two that just had one. The sound of the robots hitting each other and the cheering crowds, something like that. Would have added a little bit more, made the toy a little more worth it. I mean, it's still pretty sturdy. It's not like it'll break easily when you use it. It'll just take some wear and tear over time, but this is pretty well designed. I mean, as you saw, it was pretty easy to activate the, you get the drop zone to activate. So I didn't mean to do it right then and there, but I have to say this is definitely a lot of fun. It's too bad it didn't come with 2, because then you had a lot of fun. And let me tell you one thing. If you remember in the show how, robots like Fluffy, the vertical spinning bar actually ended up in the pit on the flipper, you can do that with the arena. I'm not kidding. You can actually do that. It's a little harder if you line it up just right, like in one of the corners, like the corner that's closest to the pit. It'll probably work a little bit better with the BattleBots Minibots because they're a little lighter, but it's still capable of doing it in the with the Minibots themselves. I mean, it's really nice how they got it. I mean, you can actually. That's actually kind of a nice feature. It's just too bad it doesn't have a whole lot of other features. I mean, yeah, they they couldn't have a real flame on the flame pit, then maybe they could have had it light up or something, you know? That's the thing. You know, it's kind of minor faults though, really. I mean, you could have a lot of fun with this. I mean, I've had a lot of fun actually using the toy myself. You know, I just kind of wish maybe the pit were a little bit differently designed, maybe to go along more with the show, but again, that may be just a functionality issue. The flipper's nice though, because the one thing you can't do in the show, when they had the featherweight melee, that actually had, oh, I forget who it was that actually got stuck underneath the flipper. I think it was Auntie B, I think, got underneath the flipper as a result. That's because the flipper was actually a solid slab. It wasn't like this. It's kind of interesting, although that would have actually been a little bit more entertaining because you could follow the show. Yeah, the flipper's not strong enough, as far as I know, to throw him out of the arena like it was. Maybe if I tried with the BattleBots Minibots, I could get that effect, but oh, well, maybe that's something to try for later. But yeah, that's my review on the toy.